As a child, I enjoyed accompanying my Grandpa Schmidt when he hunted on his small farm. My experience with him and my own exploring piqued a lifelong intrigue with farming. I became aware of the annual calendar farmers followed and noticed that their efforts persisted regardless of the weather. Some years, entire fields or portions of fields were reseeded to overcome the damage from spring floods. Other years, energy was expended to sustain crops through drought and storm and fire. No effort was counted as a waste. The harvest was too important not to try. I learned about harvest sizes, years of bumper and leaner crops. Farmers work diligently every year, but often factors beyond their control impact the yield. I learned about the rhythm of growing seasons, that there are times requiring working long hours, sometimes through the night, and then time allowing for rest. Labor and rest, both necessary for farming and ministry. I learned to listen for the annual conversation about next year's crop. Regardless of the harvest size, a farmer's focus soon shifts to hopes and plans for the next year. As lay and clergy ministers, that pattern is repeated after every annual district conference. We celebrate the year's harvest, then pray and prepare for the next growing season. What we know as Thanksgiving holiday began as a harvest festival when people gathered to celebrate the fruit of that year's growing season. Those assembled benefited from the labor involved in their planting, nourishing, and reaping the harvest. We are ending year 2 through a pandemic. Our growing season has again been challenging. Sisters and brothers, you have persisted despite harsh conditions. Your faithfulness in hard times brings Galatians 6:9 to mind. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. We celebrate this year's harvest, pausing to thank God for the Holy Spirit working in our midst for the bounty He has made possible. We turn our eyes to 2022, praying for God's leading, blessing, provision as we persist in closing the gospel gap by unleashing a kingdom force. I thank God that you know the importance of an eternal harvest. Begin each day seeking God's leading and equipping. Never give up. God bless you and keep you, my dear co-laborers. A harvest awaits.